Hi, welcome to Truly Holistic Tools and Tips. Today we're going to show you how to release the quads and how to play with your balls to make yourself feel better. So, word of warning, with the quads, they are generally very sensitive. So I highly recommend stretching the quads first and also doing the trigger point ball release of the psoas and the glutes first. Otherwise it's going to be a very painful experience. Even if you do those in that order, still might be a painful experience. So, just start with a nice easy quad stretch, bring the foot back like so. If you need assistance, you can use the wall, just to place your hand up or to put your foot up against the wall. So when doing this, I want you to make sure not to arch the back. You're gonna stand tall and tilt the hips forward. You're gonna pull the heel towards your back and then push into your hand without letting it come forward. Breathe and relax. Pull the heel closer to the glute. And again, making sure not to collapse in, keeping that pelvis up and relax. So doing that on both sides and then going into just a simple kneeling. So some people struggle a lot with getting their bums to their heels just in this position. If you struggle to be in this position either with the ankles or the quads, I recommend getting a bolster and putting it underneath your glutes in between your feet. And that will give you a little bit of leverage that you can work your way in. And then eventually go from a bolster to a pillow to a towel. And then hopefully to be able to sit back on your haunches. If you're already feeling the stretch, just breathe through that. If you need a bit more, bring the hands back. And what I want you to do is essentially do a hip thrust. So that's going to open up the anterior chain a bit more, making sure your shoulders are protected by turning your hands out to the sides and leaning back. And if you're super flexible, you can go down to your elbows. So, just some pre-warm-ups before getting into using the ball. Now, we're going to get into the position. You're going to find a space just to the lower portion of the quad or even the middle. And we're going to be gliding up and down using our arms as our fulcrum. So I like to bring my opposite knee out to the side to brace myself. And just straight up and down the rec fem, right through the middle. If you find a particularly sore spot, just sit on that and breathe. And then you can intensify it by bringing the heel up and down. You can even go side to side. And then going back to the glide. Taking it over to the outside, starting low, so then that way you can hit most of the muscle, and just gliding. If your hip's not as flexible to do that, you can just simply go onto your forearms, like so. Ah, dear God, that hurts. Now, coming into the vastus medialis, the inside portion of your quad, and just doing the same. Finding a spot, bending it through. Now from here, we can also do the inner portion of our vastus medialis, and we're also going to do some of our adductors. So taking the ball to the knee, we're just going to glide. So normally I'd use my hand to brace, but I just want you to be able to see what's going on there. And you can go further in. And while we're here, we may as well do the outside of the quad. Coming up onto the side. All right, so that's the quad, and next we'll show you how to do the TFL.